and ready to go.
Me too. Merry meet.
Merry meet. Welcome to the Witch's Coffee Talk.
And welcome to the not so grim Reaper instructions.
Oh, so adorable and cute.
Well, yeah, I've been looking at these. They're like everywhere on the crochet sites, especially this time of year.
Oh, yes.
They're all done in black or gray, and that's cool because, you know, it looks like you see forever inside there. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I want to make one that's not so grim. This one is pretty festive, and this one will be too. I'm using the favorite stripes, so I'm just going to keep making them, just whatever colors come next, so they'll all be a little bit different, you know. But I started out with this. This is called the Gwim Weepa Awagawami. And I believe it was a free pattern on Ravelry. It's either free or just a couple of dollars. But it is, it's British terms. So when it says DC, which Americans would call a double crochet, they mean a single crochet. But it's all single crochet, so it really doesn't, you know, affect you. I only get confused when they go back and forth. And, you know, I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to be making now? But this one is made exactly like the pattern. So then, of course, I did it my way. So this one is made, this one's made from the top down, and this one's made from the bottom up. It doesn't make that much difference unless you're the one actually making it. So all I have to do now is make his two little arms, which are cones, and make his little scythe.
Yes.
And sew him all together like this. All right. I shall do that.
Yes. And this is also a great pattern for Santissima.
That's what you were saying.
Yes.
And Carl said there should be like a skull head in there, or you know, if you made a little pumpkin, a little jack-o'-lantern, you could put it in there. Anything. Put a little mirror down in there. Yeah. That would be so cool. But yeah, very versatile. I love it when you get more out of a pattern, you know, when you can make several things. It reminds me of those cake pans, you know, that you turn it one way and it's a whale, and you turn it the other way and it's a ghost, you know.
Yes. I know, I love them. I know spooky season is now officially here.
Yes.
Because the pumpkin spice has returned.
Oh my goodness, my pumpkin spice.
Yes. Shameless plug, I have my pumpkin spice.
I have tea now, but it's a chai tea.
Oh, nice.
I can put my mushroom powder in dark coffee or chai tea, and it doesn't affect the taste at all. So that's good for me.
Awesome. So, since August is coming to an end, what's coming up in September?
September, I got lots of things to do. Well, the first thing I have to do is tomorrow night I'm going to be doing the Straga's Blue Moon on the Grove. Yes. So that will be live on Instagram tomorrow night at 7:30, 8 o'clock. We go live about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah. And it's all everything we do will be blue. From burning blue sage to lighting the blue Strega flame. I even bought a bottle of Strega liqueur.
Nice.
So that we can have a blue flame while we're doing that.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. I guess the next thing I have to do after that is my yearly doctor's visit. Remember, everybody needs to go get checked out once a year. Get all your vitals taken and all your levels taken, and if squish those boobs if you got them. Because that's very important. And then what's next?
Pagan Pride, I believe.
Pagan Pride on September 16th. Yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah, everybody's getting real excited and starting to see more people on the Facebook event saying that they're coming.
Yes.
So look for that on Facebook, the Pagan Pride at the Grove, and tell us if you're coming. Tell us what you're going to bring for the potluck.
Yes.
That'll be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic.
Jen is going to be there this year, so she's going to be manning the grill.
Nice.
And the Grove will have turkey burgers, veggie burgers, and beef burgers, and hot dogs.
Nice.
And then all the condiments and rolls and things that you need. So we're asking folks who come to bring, their favorite picnic dish. We usually get several potato salads and a couple of coleslaws.
Yep, we get a couple. But I did something different for Beltane. I did a chickpea feta salad.
That was good.
With artichokes in them.
I enjoyed that. That was really good.
Because I look and it's like, everyone's going to do like the basic. Let me do something else. Let me think outside the box.
Exactly.
Like last night, I made this Mexican style rice, but I used quinoa.
Oh.
And instead of black beans, I used chickpeas. Because that's what I had. And
right.
I wasn't going to spend like hours cooking black beans in a crock pot. That's not going to happen.
If you don't have a can, it's going to have something else.
It's going to have to be something else. I had a can of chickpeas right there. And I did the canned tomatoes with the garlic seasoning with them, and just did the different type of like salsa, the green salsa, and just put it together with some cheese and stuff, and Panda was very happy with it. Panda ate it.
Oh.
Completely.
Panda approved.
Panda approved.
Gotta be good. That's nice.
Because I had to go get his medicine, so I got a Publix rotisserie chicken.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'm just going to do something simple, because I also went through and cleaned my house last night. Because that's the one thing with the full moons I've noticed. I cannot sleep. I can't sleep.
Oh no.
Like, I'm sleepy during the day, but then at night I'm like so wired.
Right?
I start cleaning and stuff.
I sleep good. I sleep good all the time.
It's with only the full moon, like, I'm very active at night.
I was just counting. Sorry.
Yes. You're counting as you're making a little cone for his arm.
For his arm.
Yes.
I've been seeing everywhere on Instagram and TikTok this recipe for chicken cobbler. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
Everybody's trying it.
Everyone's trying it.
And I'm like, I need to try that.
Yeah. It's just like the feta and the feta cheese block with the olive and the tomatoes in the oven.
Yeah.
With the pasta and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you melt that down and then you just mix it into with your pasta and makes a sauce.
Yeah, you like oven roast it, so the tomatoes are oven roasted, and you mix it together and with the pasta, and you're all good to go for dinner.
Crazy. There's one of his little arms. I'm gonna make another one.
So adorable.
So this one's going to have a lot of blue.
A lot of blue.
This is the cool colors, and that's the warm colors.
Yes.
But you can cheat a little bit when you're using variegated yarn. This is a stripe, so that a variegated yarn is lots of little colors, like it changes really quickly. This is a stripe. The colors are longer. So if you imagine you're going back and forth with a scarf, you're going to get a striped scarf if you make it with this.
Yes.
That's why they call it a stripe. Now, the longest color change is an ombre, and that's usually all one color, but it goes through the different shades of the color, like all the blues or all the purples. And that you really need a big project, because this little guy would be all one color, because it wouldn't have time to change colors before you finish them.
No.
But you can kind of cheat, because look, see, the bottom of this one's orange because I had finished that and went right into this.
Yes.
I could have started with this, and then this would have been orange and changed to red.
Red.
So you can get variations, you know, if you pay attention to your color changes.
Oh, yes.
Message.
Oh, that was my phone.
Message.
Someone messaged me. Was it someone out in Clapperville here? Got too many people looking at me. Don't know which way to look.
You don't know which way to look. Oh my goodness.
All right, another arm.
Another arm. Now you're starting the other arm.
Yep. Get chain 2 and 6 single crochets. Even though it says DC, we're not in England, so we're gonna SC. And then you very gradually increase on this one.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna try the chicken cobbler. I'm gonna let you know. This is my goal. I'm gonna try it in the next 2 weeks, and I'll let you know next time what it tastes like.
Because like tonight I'm doing homemade corn tortillas, but I'm doing like the burger taco. Like taking the tortilla and doing the raw ground beef. I'm going to use turkey because it's healthier, and do it like a thin layer of meat, and then cook it, and then flip it, and then put the cheese and heat melt it.
That sounds good.
And it actually comes out to be less calories than an actual burger.
Right.
Because you only have the one tortilla compared to the 2 pieces of bread.
Right. That's good. Carl and I have been using those big tortillas to make wraps and then put them in the air fryer.
Yes. Oh, they're so good. I do a lot of like homemade tortillas for myself.
This way they can be gluten free and
they can be gluten free, and I can also control the thickness, because every time you buy corn tortillas in the stores, they're so thin and flimsy.
Yeah.
They just break apart.
Well, I made those enchiladas, and it turned into just like a casserole, because the corn tortillas just disintegrated.
Yes.
I rolled that stuff up and I lined them up. When I put the cheese on it, they just mush, and so it looked like polenta.
But it was very tasty. It was very tasty. It was so funny. I had to pick out the olives.
Oh no, Panda!
He hates olives. He hates olives.
I love olives.
Oh.
Carl and I love.
I look
all
at
kinds
him.
of
I was
olives.
like, you spit in the face of your heritage with your food. He's like, why? I was like, you eat more like a American,
right?
Than your traditional,
Nicaraguan, right? Is
I just laugh at him. I was like, your wife, who's the native one in this relationship, cooks better Spanish food than you do. But he has me beat on rice. He makes rice perfectly.
He knows how to make rice.
He knows how to make good rice.
Okay, we'll forgive him.
And he loves our Instapot that Ginny got us for our wedding.
Oh, nice.
And like it took me a while to get him to switch over from the original rice cooker that he will always overflow to this one, because he likes to add stuff to the rice. And now he has a big enough pot that he can add everything that he wants and not overflow the container. And he's so happy. He's like, the Instapot's so much better. I was like, I know.
I love my Instapot.
I've made chili in my Instapot. I'm going to attempt to do beans. I'm going to do like lentil beans, like split peas.
Well, I've made split pea soup.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. On Sundays, Carl and I will put everything in the Instapot and then go watch a movie and come back and perfect split pea soup.
Yes.
Have to count. Counting's very important.
Yes. But no, like everything that he, like he tries to cook so much, and sometimes it's a disaster. The fish is the worst of the worst. When Jinx the cat rejects fish, you have murdered the fish.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, oh, let me give it to Jinx. Jinx will eat it to prove a point to the wife. And Jinx is looking at him, I'm not eating that, bro.
Eating that.
He's snubbed. But the funny thing is when I made crabs, like baked crabs with Obey, and I did the seasoning correctly, Jinx wanted to be right into it.
Mm-hmm. You can over-season things.
Yeah, he does it quite well. It's too much or none. That is his two options. There's no happy in the middle.
Oh, no.
No happy in the middle. And like with me, I use like garlic in my stuff. I use like a lot of good stuff. Like I even made Parmesan potatoes, baked potatoes.
Ooh.
Like you cut them up and you toss them in like olive oil, and what you do for the trick, you put wax paper or you put tin foil down on your pan. So then when the cheese cooks, it's not stuck to the pan, you can peel it off and have the crispy cheese.
Nice.
And it's also less for cleanup too. You're
Right.
not there scrubbing the pans and stuff.
Okay. I like to put his little arms on first, so the hood is not in the way.
Yes.
And we're on the wrong end, so we just weave up to the top, because you only need a couple of stitches to get it. Just go right up to the point. And it doesn't matter where, for the first one.
The first one. Second one's a little bit
Second one you want on the opposite side.
Yes.
And I put it down. Now see, I for this second to last row, I went in the back stitches only, so I would have this to sew into for his little hood. So I want to connect the arm like just below that.
Gotcha.
Just below that.
Mm-hmm.
And just put a few stitches. Oh, I unstitched my needle. Luckily, I got this big yarn needle that's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have your thumbnail, your sewing thumbnail.
Well, I have like the little thing that you can pull through and then pull the yarn through, or the string through.
Oh yeah,
I have those.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like with my beading needles, like if I'm beading, and depends on how thin the needle is, I need it because I can't see the hole. Even though my eyes are pretty good and I don't need glasses, I still can't see the hole to get the thread in.
I have some beading needles that are just like two thin wires that are attached at the top and the bottom, so they open all the way. So you put the thing in, and then it's just a sliver. It's for the tiniest little seed beads.
Yes. And also, it depends on what size of bead you're beading to.
Yeah, you can only use a needle that'll fit through the hole in the bead. When I'm threading a needle, I always put the needle onto the thread, not the thread. Because if you try to push the thread through the hole, it goes boink, boink, boink.
Yep.
So you hold the thread and then you put the needle on it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll put that through there and cut it off. And I'll put the That's one.
That's one. One little arm is on.
You put his other little arm on.
Yes. Fantastic.
Now these are only stuffed in the body here. And in the pattern it suggests you could put some marbles in the bottom or a piece of cardboard or something, to make them stand up. But using this small hook and this 4-ply yarn, it's pretty sturdy, I didn't think I needed anything. He stands up quite nicely.
Yes.
I have an aversion to adding hard things to my crochet. I don't like wire sculpture inside of it and things like that.
No.
I know that people make some fantastic things like that, but I don't know.
They do.
But I'm not into it. All right, so right directly across, I will sew this one on.
Also, how you don't like wires in your crocheting. Like, I'm the same way when it comes to dream catchers. If I am doing my traditional ones that I was taught by my grandmother's friend, who was a Ojibwe, who I consider as the elder because her and my grandmother used to make stuff together. And my grandmother used to make blankets, did dream catchers with her, and she would take it to the powwows and sell it to make money and stuff. And that's how sometimes my grandmother would make extra money being disabled to get school supplies, Christmas stuff, because when you're disabled your income's not that whole lot.
No.
So when I do my dream catchers, for people who are not indigenous, I typically do the metal and the hoops and stuff. But if it's for someone who is native, who is traditional, I'll do it the traditional way. But those I don't sell them. I need to make that perfectly clear. Those are gifts only. I don't sell dream catchers. I don't mass produce them to make a profit off of them. That's something that was taught to me by an elder that I just don't make money off of.
Right.
Now my beadwork I do. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Because we're allowed to. Because I do different patterns. I don't do traditional indigenous patterns of different tribes. I do more of hearts and Sailor Moon, something different.
Right. Something modern. It's just beadwork. It's not ceremony.
No. If it's ceremony, that's something completely different, and I don't even sell any of that stuff.
Well, it kind of is like I make crocheted things to sell. I do craft shows and conferences and all kinds of things. These will probably be in my little $15 bins. I have $15 bins that, all these things. Now, if someone was in need and I was using this as a puppet, as real medicine, maybe helping them cross over or, coming back from the dead in a metaphysical way, or in a, I wouldn't charge for it. No. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
So now I've had people give me money for things that they were going to use for that purpose, and that's fine. But if I'm doing it as part of my ministry, I call it, then I usually don't charge.
I know, some of the native medicine my grandmother taught me, I don't I'll do it for people who's in need, but I don't take money for it because it's a taboo in Native culture. I'm not going to go into specifics, but when we do medicine, when it comes to the money aspect, we don't take it because it's money. We view money as being tainted, and that's something that we don't do with.
I know you made a lovely skin wash for Carl that helped him a lot, and you wouldn't take any money for it. So he was in a panic until he found something that he could give you in exchange, because there is a reciprocity. There is an exchange.
There is an exchange, but money is a huge taboo. No, we don't do that.
So he couldn't rest until he found something that he could give you.
Yes.
Oh, well. Yes. Because that's good too. Oh, we went to a fellow Grovester's celebration of life.
Yes.
Last Sunday, and it was beautiful. It was very nice. It was in the park, and they did a little ritual, and they had like a Reiki chair there because Ricky was a Reiki master, and so they set up a purple chair for people to give and receive Reiki at Ricky's Reiki station.
That's so cute.
And they did such good things, and what was I trying to? Oh, someone said, there was food. Of course, there was food. They were Italian. It was plenty of food.
It's food.
And someone said, I didn't bring any food because I know you don't bring food to an Italian gathering. That's an insult. And I looked at him and said, but I'm Italian. I brought a piece of cake. He goes, okay, you're allowed.
Well, when we go to like different funerals and stuff, there's different protocols. Like in the South, you're supposed to bring a dish.
Yes.
Or you're supposed to do something for the family to help the family.
Yeah.
Like,
casseroles up to their eyeballs.
Casseroles you can freeze. Like that's the whole purpose of the casseroles, is that you can freeze them and then take them back out and reheat them and eat them throughout the week during like your grief and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's why the casserole with the Southern funerals are so deeply embedded.
Yes.
And
something nice you can do when you don't know what to do.
And when my brother passed away, it was a Catholic Italian funeral up there, and it's just like, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Putting the pagan one into the Catholic Church, which actually the Catholic Church is so similar to pagan rituals. They have no idea. I was like,
no idea.
I was like, you guys have issues with me, but you do the same thing,
right? So you burned incense, and okay.
Yes. And then, like when my brother passed away, there was a huge hiccup of the fiasco because, like, the family members who are from out of town were supposed to have a car to drive them because we flew in, so we didn't have the transportation. And also, this was at, I want to say, no, it was at the beginning of March up there, so there was still ice and snow on the road. Not a fun experience. And they're like, oh, you're going to have to drive. I was like, I don't have a car. I flew in.
Right?
So all that got fixed.
Good.
All that got fixed. And then it's interesting when you go to different families' funerals. Like recently we went to Panda's grandmother's funeral, her wake and stuff. And that's completely different compared to what I've been to. Like the food's different, everything's different.
Okay, I chained 9.
Yes.
And then I slip stitch back 3. And then I start putting 2 single crochets, another 2 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, we're making his scythe.
Yes.
Let's see. Once it starts turning, maybe I'll just, let's see what it looks like if I just put 2 double crochets. Then, it's just like a little turn like that.
Oh.
See?
I see.
All right. And then I'm going to sew it to here and bend that down. And then that will just go through his little arm and he'll have his little scythe.
Nice. Absolutely fantastic.
So whenever I'm at something like that, I always take note and I see what I would like for my end of life celebration, and I usually talk to Birch. Birch is going to be in charge of my end of life celebration because she knows all the yarn aspect of it. I asked her years ago, and she said yes, of course I will. I'll probably write it and leave it. I have one written. And people think that's so morbid, and Suzette won't even talk about it, and she starts to cry, and I'm like, hey, now, when I'm gone, and it's an eventuality, you'll remember all these awkward moments, and you'll laugh, and I'll bring you some joy, because I was like, at Ricky's, I was like, I like this is nice, it says to Birch, but more howling. I need more howling than this. And she goes, yes, and more yarn, definitely. Yes, I said, yarn. Okay, that's why I put you in charge, Birch, because you understand. And then Suzette was like, I'm going to go get a drink. I can't talk to you people.
I know, like, me, the deaf witch of the crew. I was like, oh, just wait till we get to the deaf omits class. Anything like that's spooky, deaf related, it goes into my pile of, Vanity, Moon, do you want to do this?
You're in charge.
Oh, yes, actually.
Yeah.
Because death is in a lot of different religions is so misunderstood. And people always fear it.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't. It's a natural part of life.
I mean, there was a time before you were born. Where were you then? Did it hurt?
No.
So, you know what I liken it to? You ever have a task that you were dreading for months?
Yes.
And you didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it. Finally, you knuckle down, you do it. It takes 25 minutes. It's over. And you're like, why did I dread that for so long?
Yeah.
So I can imagine this process being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like the top of a roller coaster. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, whee! And then it's over and it's like, wow, nothing hurts anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I got the freedom to go anywhere I want. Why was I dreading that?
Yeah.
Why did I fear that?
No.
That's what I figure.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't, listen, worry is a waste of imagination,
yes,
right? So it's going to happen one way or the other. So you might as well think of it the way I do and not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find out eventually if you were right or wrong.
Yeah.
And there's nothing don't ruin your life about it.
No, absolutely not.
Don't let death ruin your life.
And so many people do. That's the thing. Like when my mom got so sick back in the October before she passed away, that February of the year after, like, I'm looking at everyone, they're like, oh, she's fine. I was like, no, she's not fine. Houston, we have a problem. And she didn't take care of herself.
Right.
And she ended up having a massive heart attack because she never put down the cigarettes. So the lesson of the story, do not smoke.
How can people be afraid of death and then do things like that? Because, it's not the actual moment of death. It's those months before then that you're suffering.
Like she was like, what was described to me by her friend who was there with her like her gay best friend was with her, and like he was staying with her because she wasn't feeling well. And he's like, yeah, she wasn't feeling well, she wasn't looking good. I tried to get her to the hospital, like he was going to watch the kids for her, and she wouldn't go. And it was just like, it took a toll on the family because like, it's so sudden. It's like, no, it's
no, it wasn't. You weren't paying attention.
You wasn't paying attention. And stuff. And, you know, being a death witch and seeing, I can see when a person is fading. And it's one of the most hardest things to, like, if you have this ability to come to grips with, especially when it comes to like your loved ones, when you start to see them dim and fade. And it's just like, it's hard because people like, oh, you're going to be really, really sad, but you have to look at it, it's like, it's an end for them, but it's a new beginning for them too.
Yeah.
Death is not the end, it's just the next chapter.
Right. Alright, so I pushed it through the arm, and then I'm gonna like push it down in here so that it'll stabilize and we'll flop around, and there he is.
Yay!
See, now this was a little spookier because it's dark inside.
Dark.
You know? Look at that. And it's got like a red. It happened that it had the light purple, the reddish purple, and then the blue purple, dark purple, blue. So when you look down in there, it's like, ooh. I like these things.
Yeah. They're very cute.
So now the next one I start will be purple.
Purple.
Now should I make purple bottom or should I make a purple? Well, I already have purple here. I'll make a purple bottom and then it will switch to something else. I think the next one, oh well. That's the fun of it, to be surprised by the next color.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know there's a pattern to it, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Yes.
So now we got these two little guys. All right.
Nice.
And I'll just start another one to keep my hands busy while we finish up talking.
Yes. Absolutely. But no, I think like when it comes to death, and especially coming around this time of the year, especially with Samhain coming up, it's about the veil getting thinner, connecting with our ancestors, connecting with the loved ones that have passed on, and honoring them and being able to communicate with them.
Some years I'm more sensitive than others. Have you found that?
Yeah.
It's like some years Samhain goes by and I guess nobody's talking to me. Yeah. And then and then other times I'll be having lucid dreams and just memories of people, and you know, that's, memories are time travel.
Yes. It absolutely is. I know recently I have been having these wild dreams recently, and it's just like getting closer to like this super blue moon, and getting closer to like Samhain. Like the dreams are becoming more intense. I was like, oh, who is talking?
What do you want to know?
Because typically when I communicate with my grandmother, like I have an actual set of cards I use that she talks to, and like sometimes she comes through in my dreams. Now when you are dreaming, and if you can see a person very crystal clear, you can see details, that's them in your dream. If they're fuzzy, that's how you can tell it's a dream, and look at the meaning of what they're showing you. But if they are very crystal clear and very fine detail, they're coming to give you a message.
Okay.
Yeah.
So listen up.
Yes.
So they don't have to find another way to get your attention.
Yeah. They will find multiple ways if you do not listen.
Right?
They do. So, since this is the last day in August, I can't believe tomorrow is September.
Wow. You're right. September 1st, tomorrow. Oh, you know what else is happening today? My daughter, Sarah, has a book dropping on Amazon today.
Ooh.
She's writing a series of children's books called Fun in Foodville. And it's Frankie Furter. You've probably seen him on my on my Instagram and stuff. Frankie Furter and his pal Mussy, who's a little glob of mustard. And their adventures. Now, in the first book, they come up against Colonel Kraut. And they're like spies, and they don't realize that some of their other friends, like Lily, she's a Dijon. Lily Dijon is another glob of mustard. She's a spy too. This second book that's coming out is about them going to the Spicy Nachos concert. In the first book, you see on the wall, there's a poster of their favorite band, the Spicy Nachos. And in this book, they won tickets online to go. So the first book is a coloring book for kids. This one is color is a more of a reading book, and it's for they all have lessons about trying different foods and trying different things. And then this one has a little lesson about social awkwardness, because they both want to invite a girl to the concert.
Oh.
So,
Yes.
So they have to get the courage up. So, so I'm real proud of her. So she's Sarah McAllister on Amazon.
Awesome.
Look for Frankie Furter, Adventures in Foodville.
Fantastic. And I think that is it for today.
Oh, that went by very quickly.
Very quickly it did.
And I got 2 and a bit of my not so grim Reapers done.
Spooky season has arrived.
They are.
Yes.
And those who follow Fiber Magic on Instagram will probably see a live concerning them soon. And if you follow Abelina's Grove on Instagram, later on today I'm going to be preparing my water to be charged tonight's super blue full moon.
Yes.
And so you can watch me set that up. I've got I'm going to be making a moon bath, moon water, and putting a couple of other things out there too, because you can charge more than water under the full moon.
You can do your crystals. You can do like your ceremonial swords and daggers and stuff. If you have them in a public place, make sure they are secured and locked.
Yes. Well, these will be right out in the backyard.
Me, I have a condo, so no, that's not
right.
I'm on the bottom floor, so easy access.
So be careful if you put things like that out. And even if you're going to be doing a ritual and you need cakes and ale, put that out for a little charge. You don't have to leave it overnight. And make sure that it's covered, because you don't want anything else in there.
No.
Unless your spell happens to call for frogs' eggs.
or squirrels.
Or squirrels or mosquito larvae.
Or ducks, because we have ducks too.
Oh, yeah. So,
yes.
Unless that, just put a cover on that water.
Alrighty. Well, you guys have a good one. And merry meet, merry part,
and merry meet again. Bye.